The global arms export market is dominated by a handful of countries, but one nation stands head and shoulders above all others, the United States. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, the U.S. accounted for about 43% of global arms exports between 2020 and 2024, making it by far the largest exporter of weapons in the world, more than 4 times larger than the next biggest supplier, France, and far ahead of all other countries, including the United Kingdom and others in the Western Alliance. When we talk about American arms exports, we are talking about platforms that define modern warfare and alliances systems, like the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter, the Patriot air and missile defense system, and long-range artillery, including HIMARS. These are not just weapons. They are integrated ecosystems of technology, logistics, and strategic influence that bind partners to the U.S. and set standards around the world. The U.S. exported arms to 107 countries during the same period, and Europe in particular has become its largest region for exports, eclipsing the Middle East, a testament to NATO's continued reliance on American defense products. Let's break that down with specifics. The F-35 program, led by Lockheed Martin, is perhaps the most iconic American export. This fifth-generation multi-role fighter costs roughly $80 million per aircraft and is operated by more than 20 allied nations from Italy and Japan to Canada and Australia. The program involves major industrial participation from allies, including British components and Australian production contracts, illustrating how U.S. defense exports are interwoven with allied economies. The Patriot air defense system is another pillar of U.S. exports deployed by countries such as Saudi Arabia, Japan, and Poland, and it acts as a deterrent against ballistic missiles and advanced aerial threats. With configurations tailored to each partner nation's needs, these contracts often include maintenance training and upgrades, extending American influence across continents. Turning to the United Kingdom, the UK ranks inside the top tier of arms exporters globally, historically around 7th place. According to SIPRI data, and British defense exports continue to grow, boosted by high-value contracts such as the sale of Type 26 frigates to Norway, worth over $11.4 billion, and exports of Eurofighter Typhoon jets through multinational consortia. BAE Systems plays a central role, supplying advanced naval and air platforms that keep Western fleets and air forces interoperable and potent. In addition, the UK and Australia have recently signed a long-term AUKUS treaty to deepen cooperation on nuclear-powered submarines. This partnership is not only strategic, it's economic, with projected British exports worth up to $20 billion over 25 years, and tens of thousands of jobs tied directly to defense supply chains. Underscoring Britain's continued strength in high-end military technology, Australia itself is not among the top global arms exporters like the US or UK in raw export volume, but it participates as a technology supplier to key programs and maintains a vibrant defense industrial base, particularly in maritime systems, aerospace components, and electronics. According to UK government export estimates, the US defense ecosystem alone accounted for 55% of top countries' orders in 2023, with allies contributing specialized products that feed into broader Western capabilities. Canada, on the other hand, is traditionally more of an importer than an exporter of major weapon systems, but it makes strategic purchases that shape its defense posture and industrial links. For example, Ottawa concluded a landmark $6.5 billion agreement to acquire the Jindalee over-the-horizon radar system from Australia to bolster Arctic surveillance. This deal not only strengthens Canadian northern defense, but also ties Canadian procurement to allied innovation in long-range detection technology. When we compare these 4 countries globally, the United States remains the uncontested top exporter, both by share and by the sheer scale of advanced systems it supplies. The UK continues to punch above its weight with high-value platforms and strategic collaborations, while Australia and Canada play critical roles as both partners and niche contributors to the Allied supply chain. Traditional rankings show the US at the top, followed by European exporters with the UK among them, but the influence of American defense technology remains unmatched. This picture matters for international security. Arms exports are not simply sales. They reflect geopolitical alignments and strategic trust. The United States leverages its defense exports to reinforce alliances and deter adversaries. The UK reinforces NATO capabilities with advanced naval and air systems. Australia supports Indo Pacific security frameworks, and Canada strengthens continental defense partnerships. In a world of shifting threats from great power competition to regional conflicts, these export networks and the weapons they supply are central to maintaining collective security and deterrence. The United States leads this system not just because of numbers, but because American platforms integrate intelligence, logistics, and long-term support in ways few others can match.